Mark R Dudar writes, "Hey AMC, great show, keep up the good work. My question is this, do you think big blockbusters, mainly superhero movies, spoil us in the sense that we have less interest in regular movies, whether that being dramas, action, etc.? For the past few years, I find myself going to the theaters only for the superhero movies and the occasional blockbusters like Transformers, Edge of Tomorrow, and such. Just wondering if I'm the only one who thinks that way."
First of all, never feel guilty for liking what you like. If that's what you like, there's no reason for you to feel bad about that or guilty about that. Now, that being said, yeah, there's something to that. With all these big blockbuster films that come out, they really get our attention. And all of us at this table love them. And we all love comic book movies. We all love that kind of stuff. And we talk a lot about them. They're the biggest genre in the world right now. They make the most money. The most people are interested in them, stuff like that. But you're right. There is a danger of what you're talking about. And I think that's why when you watch AMC Movie Talk, that amongst all the other big films, you've heard us talk ad nauseum on this show about Foxcatcher. You've heard us talk to death imitation games. You've heard us talk forever about The Theory of Everything and about Whiplash and about a lot of these other great films that we always want to make sure that our fellow sweaty nerds, as Schnepp would put it, that those of you who are our fellow sweaty nerds, we want to always make sure that these other brilliant films are always on your radar too. Maybe you're not going to rush out to a theater 10 miles away to go and see it, but hopefully that we've planted that seed in your head that when you get an opportunity to see it, you'll go, you know what, maybe I should check that out. And you got to see Birdman. I mean, for heaven's sakes. I mean, that's why we talk so much about those movies too. But I do think there is a bit of a danger what you're talking about. Christian, how do you see it?
Yeah, I agree. I think that what it is, it's funny because when I was reading that email, is that we're lucky and we're privileged enough to we see everything. So
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I still see all that. I'm like, well, I get to do this because it's my job. But for people who are saving up their money and going to see movies, they're going to probably choose it because it's a big experience. That's what you still go to the movies for, to see when Ultron comes out. You want to see Ultron on the big screen. But by us doing our job and letting people know about these smaller films, I think that it now opens it up less than the theater stuff. I do agree. I think that it is something that is happening, but more attention will hopefully go to those movies, whether it be on demand or on cable or when it's released on Blu-ray. Acknowledgement of these little films, I think, are more now because of the internet. I think you get more of the word and the more because of people like us who are out there talking about it. But I think, yeah, the blockbusters are reserved more for the theater. I really do.
Sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, it brings up a really interesting point. We've all been talking about this for months, almost the last couple of years. It's really coming, it's just the whole environment is changing just due to the internet, due to streaming, due to all this access to hundreds of thousands of films. It's changed the public's perception. It's sort of like, I'll wait for it till it comes to X, to a streaming solution. So people are they're saving their money, and they're saving it for like, what is a big screen film? What is something that is going to make it worth for me and my friends? We're going to go out, we're going to spend about 50, maybe $100 going out and having a good time. What am I going to see that's going to be a spectacle, so to speak? And movies have changed, especially since, the 70s, 80s. Once the big blockbusters came around, 90s, 2000s, it's like now it's the spectacle. It is the event film, and that's just something that just has happened. It's not something to cry about. It's like that's just how everything naturally evolved, and that's where we're at right now. So there aren't the middle movies anymore. There are the low-budget films, and there are the big $100 million movies. I think a lot of studios are taking into account, especially with AMC, different theaters are trying to make a point of like, hey, look, we're releasing independent movies, and all of us love films, so we talk about films, not just the big films, but the smaller films too. So we're going to see a transitional phase, but what you brought up is true, and that's just how it is. So.
For me, watching blockbusters actually enhances the experience of watching a smaller film, too. It's like I had a great summer. I got to see Godzilla wreck the Western Seaboard, and then I got to see Mutants Go Back in Time and Guardians of the Galaxy. And after seeing all that popcorn stuff, it's kind of nice to watch Reese Witherspoon go on a nice hike in the woods. Like, it's cool to see the smaller movies because you can take a break from all that. And then after Oscar season, I'm going to be ready for some stuff to blow up again. It's the natural course of what I've set myself up for as a moviegoer to experience. So I like when I get the blockbusters, and then I like settling down and watching a smaller movie because it helps me get into both. I think one hand washes the other.
Can I just bring up, you brought up a good point, like seeing a film like Theory of Everything in the screen, in the theater is different than seeing it on your small TV. Even if you have a big TV, you get drawn into the emotional aspects of film. The cinema is where you go and you get absorbed into it. There's no other place that you get absorbed into. So whether it's a giant blockbuster or it's a smaller film, you don't get that sensation unless you actually go to the theater. So.
And we don't want to oversimplify this. It's not like we're not saying that people don't go to see smaller films. As a matter of fact, smaller films today, I mean, there's a lot of elements to take into consider here, but they actually make more money than they ever have before. You look at a movie like St. Vincent made $40 million. Chef made $31 million. Jersey Boys made $47 million. If I Stay made over $50 million. I mean, so people are going to see them. But even though they're going to see them, they're being overshadowed, right? Because of the big things. I just hope that we always find a way to keep some attention on the smaller ones too.
Hey everyone, if you liked this video, click that thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It's free and helps you stay up to date with all the latest movie news, as well as our daily AMC movie talk show. Also, make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with all of our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.